Hey guys, Rachele here with Amethyst Ascension. If you are new here, welcome. And if you are returning, thank you so much for joining me again. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the journaling. So this year, the planners that I got, not the journaling, because I am doing something different with the journaling that I'm not doing for my actual, well, this says diary, but it's pretty much just my planner. This does not actually start until, I think, December 21st, if I remember right. My big thing this year is, obviously, I want to continue learning some of the things that I've already started learning. And that is, really about astrology, tarot, introspection, expansion, and pretty much the things that I've been interested in. And so that's why I thought the Moonology was a perfect little planner, and it was not expensive. I mean, I think I paid less than $10 for this, and I already had the Moonology Oracle cards, and I thought that's perfect. And for a companion, because astrology is a newfound passion that I started last year, I wanted to carry that over and continue in my studies and become more proficient. So I got a little companion daily planetary guide to go along with my Moonology, because not only do I want to understand about how numbers affect us, that universal language and frequency. And I think astrology and the planet alignment and all of that, where the moon is, the phase that the moon is, I think it all has a large amount of energy and pull into what happens in our daily lives. And just because I think it's fun. It is just something else for me to kind of figure out the mysteries of the universe kind of thing, right? So I just wanted to go through this particular planner in case you were wondering about this particular planner. So first of all, you can see, I mean, it is a nice size. It's, gosh, like a A5, I think, or maybe even a little bit smaller than that. I mean, you can see, and I've got short, stubby fingers. So this is a perfect size. My one last year was way big. I should have gotten it smaller. So it just talks about, welcome to 2021, a lunar overview of 2021, telling you how to let the moon be your guide. Of course, it's the Moonology Diary. Understanding, and gives you a rundown of all the different lunar cycles, the different phases. I love it. And it goes through all the different ones and what kind of energy that it has, what kind of work that you can do in association with those moon phases. Then it goes on and talks about astrology. And it gives you an overview of all the different houses, and which I think is wonderful. Helping you make predictions for the new year and the full moon based on the energy, and seeing your way through with each particular one, like what that moon, that phase of that moon, what house that might be in regards to your actual chart. It'll help you with that too, based on like either using your sun sign or your ascendant sign, and then you just go back and it'll give you a rundown, which I think is awesome. And they had one for the new moon and the full moon, which I think is awesome. Some different stuff. Full moon forgiveness, new moon wishing, conscious creation. This is like information for the year, things that I want. A little action plan of how to get those. Just a quick, brief look at the year ahead. And I have not started putting anything in here because, you know, we're not to that point yet. However, I do plan on adding more stuff out of this book here. So anyways, it does the weekly, you know, gives you more space here. Which this is not my main planner. Or it's my planner, but it's not like my main journal. So this is not what I'm going to be using for writing and stuff like that. This is for keeping me apprised of like astrological events every day. This will help me in my craft because I also want to expand in my craft this year in more practices, mindful practices, based on days of the week, based on, you know, moon phases, based on star alignment, what constellation, what planets, yada, yada, yada. I just want to use the energies that are already out there and expand on it. So that's like one of my words this year is like expansion. But I mean more expansion on my spiritual practices rather than expansion on like buying material things. Because I did see a lot of really cool planners. But this fits me perfectly. I didn't really think I needed anything super special, and this is exactly what I wanted, other than the junk journaling that I'm doing anyways. But I love that it already tells you, like, the moon phases and what, like, for instance, on December 29th, it is a full moon. It shows you Eastern Standard Time and Pacific Standard Time in the United States. And, you know, when that full moon is going to reach its peak. And it's like in between, because, see, the moon actually changes in a full cycle. Whoops, I am so sorry. Oops. In a full cycle, the moon goes through every single one of the zodiac signs. So the moon is roughly in each sign, roughly 2.5 days. So if you don't have an exact time of birth, unless you are in one of those days, born on one of those days where it is actually changing from one astrological or zodiac constellation to another one or sign, 9 times out of 10, you're still going to know, even if you don't know the exact time of your birth, 9 times out of 10, you're going to know what your moon is, which mine was Virgo. But this was like Gemini into Cancer. So this shows the transition on that day. That's what the moon is going to be in. It's going into both. Sometimes it's a little bit less. This shows the transition. I like that. And it just tells you a little bit about different times, a little bit of information, like the new moon in Capricorn. We have this. However, if you also have this, you can find the new moon in Capricorn. You could put that out if you wanted on your altar, do some workings with it. It's perfect. Light a candle, yada, yada, yada. I like using them in conjunction with each other. You put your intentions, wishes, any kinds of questions. I even put that for like the new moon. And then it just continues. And let's see. I like that it does it each month. It does for both the full moon and the new moon. Each month. So it's definitely around your astrological stuff. Your celestial, your universal. I'm sorry, I know I keep kind of knocking this a little bit. So then your daily planetary guide for 2021. This is really cool. I've only just started reading this as well. Namely because it doesn't start until, let's see, I think this one is January. But this one also talks about all of your different houses, the sun. It talks about the energies of the different celestial bodies, like the sun, the moon, Jupiter, you know, Pluto, Saturn, yada, yada, yada. It also talks about, like, other stuff like conjunctions, what that means, sextile, other things that are in your chart that you might not have a great understanding of. This talks about it. It talks about the degrees, the different transits, because you can go to, like, Cafe Astrology and actually get a free, like, transit about, like, what's going on, and they'll do a little report. But if you want something a little bit more in detail, then this little book is wonderful for that. It talks about the different retrogrades, what that means, the influence, the moon void, of course, the moon's influence, what the moon means in various signs and at the different stages. So if you're really new to astrology, this is a wonderful little guide. And I love the size. Yet again, you can easily put these in your purse and go. Or in a little satchel or bag, whatever. And I love that it shows the different symbols, because a year ago, I could not for the life of me remember what each of these signs meant. Now I'm getting a pretty good, I can look at something and go, oh yeah, that's a Leo, that's a Virgo, that's a Capricorn, you know. And, you know, that's Mercury, that's the sun sign, that's the moon sign, that's what have you. So then there's like charts of the actual yearly retrogrades and another kind of chart. The full moons and new moons, different planetary phenomena, weekly forecast. I like how it puts it down like an overview. And, you know, if you are even like a tarot reader that is wanting to add a little bit of astrology to your readings, but you're still really, really new to astrology, if the more and more that you even read just like your overview for that week, it'll give you an idea of the kind of energies that are already, you know, present in our universe when you're doing your reading. So that can also help enhance, I believe, and or just add another layer to whatever divination that you're using. It actually breaks it down into, you know, days. Look at that. The overviews. I love that. That is like having a source always. I don't have to go looking around. It's having an actual source for, okay, what's going on in the sky and what does that mean? And what does that mean for me? So that's what I'm going to be keeping myself apprised of. And the more and more I do it and I make it a regular part of my, you know, daily, weekly journaling or diary entries, the more proficient I'm going to get at it. It's a gradual process, you know, repetition. So that's pretty much all of that. Then we go into like symbol signs, and then it actually starts breaking it down. You see what I mean? And it starts, I believe, on the 28th then of December. Yeah. So that's the first that you actually get. And then it just goes on. So I like that you can have this in a, you know, well, especially after you're learning, you can easily look at these and say, oh, okay, so that's when that's happening. So now I understand why that happened at 3 o'clock yesterday, blah, 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 blah. It'll give you a little bit more insight. But you have your overview, and then you can turn right to these areas. I'll probably be putting like a little tab or a ribbon or something to keep me in whatever week I'm going, both here and in my review. And other than that, let's see if there's anything at the back. Oh yeah, time zones, world time zones to help break things down a little bit. A little world map of the different time zones. See where you fall. And wow, those are so little, I can't even hardly tell what that is. I'm not sure. I'll have to read about that. But I'm sure it's another cool, handy little... Oh, and it's every month. So it's an actual printout every month of more astrological stuff. You can even... There's a little blank horoscope chart that you can actually fill out if you'd like with your own information. It gives you charts of planetary hours, table of rising and setting signs, and even a little address book at the back. There you go. So that's what I plan on doing this year for my journal, for my my planner. Not my actual journaling. I guess this would be considered part of journaling, but this is just like my astrological. This is what I plan on doing and using my oracle cards in conjunction with that for further understanding and for like my workings and stuff like that. So I hope you have enjoyed this. I would absolutely love to see what you guys are working on as far as your planners. I love to see that kind of stuff. And I hope you have enjoyed this, and I am sending you love and light. Thank you so much.